There we go. Do we have audio? No. Now we do. At least we should. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I hear stuff. We have audio. Alright, so here we are. Back again in the Sploons. It's been, what, 2 weeks? It's been a while. And literally the only reason we're back in Splatoon is because of Splatfest. Other than that, you know, I would have rather finished Super Mario Odyssey. And I would say, oh, well, we'll finish it next week. But we probably won't finish it next week because Donkey Kong. Or maybe we will finish it next week and we'll do Donkey Kong the week after that. Haven't really decided. So, yeah. I don't know, this is the first time I've booted up this game in weeks. We do have to pick a team. So I'll tell you right now, Presence is out. I think of the love languages, right? Giving gifts is one of the 5 love languages. I don't really like giving gifts. I'm bad at it. Alright, I'm the type of guy where if I have to give a gift, I'll just give, like, cash or a gift card. I'm super simple. I'd much rather give, something where it's like, oh yeah, you can just buy what you want. And then when it comes to receiving gifts, I'm the same way. I'd rather just, give me cash or a gift card or something. So that way, maybe there's nothing I want at this current time. Because I'm one of those assholes who's like, oh yeah, when there's something I want, and it's reasonably priced, I'll just buy it. Right? Like, I haven't asked for, like, a game for Christmas. Ew. Since, what, the 3DS era? The Wii U era? I mean, there's technically one exception there, but it's not important. So that, Gifts is out. Gifts is out for me. Moments and money are kind of like, yeah, experiences are nice. But, cash is also pretty nice. Oh, I knew there was something I forgot to update. It was the freaking, this stuff. Ugh. And it's funny because we're talking, outside of Wallace and Gromit, we're talking about the same stuff. Okay, give me a second. Okay, that's good enough for me. Alright, let's just go with money. Fuck it. Fuck it, whatever. I'll just pick one. It ain't that big of a deal. So this is technically our winter, holiday Christmas fest. We get Big Amontillado here. We got Shiver, the Ghost of Christmas Past. And we got, oh, it's a good fray. I can't think of a good fray. Prince and the Pauper fray. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Alright, let's just jump into it. So for the show this week, we have one big news story that technically that is Switch 2 leaks. I'll just say we got Switch 2 leaks. Oh yeah, we got Sparkly Ink. I actually do really like this. This version of the Sparkly Ink is better than 2's. They just changed it a little bit and I like it better. I just don't like the story mode ink in Splatoon 2. What can I say? Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. This week we've got Switch 2 leaks. We've got a bunch of stuff. Oh my god, do we have so much stuff when it comes to Switch 2 leaks. So we'll do all of that. I've broken it up day by day. So, you know, we've got 5 days of leaks, a week of leaks. So we'll have fun with that. And then and that's it. Like, there's a few smaller news stories within the week of leaks that, you know, happened Nintendo adjacent, or actually directly by Nintendo. And then other than that, you know, that's it. That's our one big news story. Sure, you know, a few other things happen. You know, the DICE Awards. The new Assassin's Creed game got delayed again, which is not a good sign. Right? There are bets going on right now on whether or not Ubisoft gets bought out by the end of the year. This is not a good sign. I'll tell you that right now. So we got that. We got all those stories. And then finally we have WIBE. A few more. I've been playing Mario games. I've played 2 more since then. Beat 1, played another. So we'll talk about that. I want to talk about the one TV show thing I did watch was the Abbott Elementary It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia crossover. So I do want to talk about that very briefly. And then finally AGDQ, which is currently going on as we speak. They're on the penultimate day. I think it wraps up tomorrow. They might be doing... are they doing Elden Ring right now? Well, I think I left off they were doing Elden Ring. That sounds right. I might have been looking at something else. I don't know. I might have been looking at something else. I don't know. We've had some crazy runs, so we'll talk about all of that. And I think that's really it. I think those are all our main stories. Yeah, it's been a week, to say the least. So I guess let's just get right into it. So, the Switch 2, there was a lot of hope that it was going to release this week, or that it was going to be revealed this week. That didn't happen. We still don't know what the Switch 2 officially is. Unofficially, oh yeah, we know exactly what it looks like. Unofficially, we know everything about this console, other than, like, some bits of software and the firmware. But other than that, we basically know everything about this console. The Switch 2 is so leaky that if it was a boat, it would be the Titanic. Now, I've said in the past that leaks don't really matter, that, you know, all these hardware leaks, you know, the Switch 2 is basically just the Switch again. So when, you know, a new image comes out, or, you know, some manufacturer leaks something, it's like, okay, it's the Switch again. I'm not really mad, you know, I'm not really disappointed. It's exactly what I'd expect. But with the Switch 2 being as leaky as it is, holes popping up this way and everywhere, you know, like a Sea of Thieves ship, it's only a matter of time until the ship sinks low enough that eventually the stuff I do care about starts leaking. You know, the firmware. Eventually something's going to leak that tells us, hey, this is what the C button does. Because currently we have no idea. But it's only a matter of time until we find out what it does. Before, of course, Nintendo reveals it. There's also the software, right? We already, you know, we've got a lot of good guesses on what the software is going to be. You know, a new Mario game, a new Mario Kart. You know, there's a lot of speculation around stuff like Elden Ring. But none of that has been confirmed. But the lower the ship sinks, every day it's a roulette, right? Every day we spin the wheel, and it's, hey, the software's gonna leak. You know, we're gonna get an image of Mario Kart 9. Oh, we're gonna get an image of Super Mario Universe. It's only a matter of time. And that's why I kind of want Nintendo to, you know, pick up the pace and actually do something. You know, because you know, if Nintendo shows it off, even if it's just like a brief few seconds in a trailer, it's something. You know, I get to be hyped for that moment in the trailer. Because, you know, we know Mario Kart 9 is coming. But it's going to be much bigger of a deal when it gets shown in a trailer versus, you know, someone just posting a pic on 4chan showing it off. That's going to be so much more disappointing, right? So I think, you know, the longer Nintendo waits on this, the higher likelihood that something that does matter leaks. And that's why I want them to reveal stuff. So we were getting our hopes up for January 8th, and we'll talk about what happened on January 8th. But January 8th didn't happen. I know Krista from Kit and Krista, right, former Nintendo employees, they basically came out and said, like, hey, these leaks don't affect Nintendo at all. You know, Nintendo will make a plan, and they will stick to that plan come heaven or high water. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. And yeah, you know, that makes a lot of sense, because, you know, part of the rumors about the January 8th date was that it was affected by the leaks. And yeah, that makes sense, you know, Nintendo doesn't really play the leaks. I get that. But, again, there's a part of me that thinks this is going to come back to bite Nintendo in the ass. That, you know, that part of the reason why I wanted the January 8th date was because, you know, Nintendo, they waited through the holiday season. They didn't reveal the console last year because of the holiday season. We're past the holiday season now. You can show the system. That's why I was hoping they'd just do it as soon as possible. But clearly, as soon as possible isn't Nintendo's prime directive. Of course, we'll get to some of Nintendo's thoughts. Some, you know, alleged thoughts. Some of them, you know, we do have unofficial statement. But, you know, we'll get to some of that. But yeah, it's just been a leaky week, and you know, every week that goes by, it's going to get a little bit more leaky. Admittedly, I think this week was extra bad because of CES. You know, the big developer showcase where they show off all the weird stuff. You know, there's some neat tech, but it's usually a lot of weird, dumb stuff. Internet Today always does a good roundup show on CES. I always recommend them because they highlight the fun, weird stuff. I don't know, admittedly, I don't know if they are going to this week or this year because of the California wildfires, because they're pretty close to that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, but, you know, it's whatever. So let's start off with Monday. So I don't actually have much for Monday, because admittedly this whole week of leak idea I had on, like, Wednesday, because I had been collecting a bunch of stories on Tuesday. I had some stuff on Wednesday, and I was like, let's do a week of leaks. So I kind of had to go back and see what was being talked about on Monday, and I'll be honest, I didn't really find much, but I got one thing. Yeah, give me a second. So, last week sometime, a picture of the Joy-Cons leaked. There was a side profile where, you know, you see the inside of the controller, you see the buttons, and then there was a back profile. And people noticed in the side profile something we hadn't before. There seems to be an optical sensor within the side profile. Now, what does an optical sensor mean? Well, normally an optical sensor, the most common place you will see an optical sensor used is on a computer mouse. You know, if you pick up your computer mouse and you see that little red light below it, unless of course you have a trackball, which, God, I mean, theoretically those still exist, a trackball mouse. But yeah, if you pick up it right, you see the red light, that's an optical sensor. So in theory, this new Joy-Con has an optical sensor, which there had been a few rumors that the Joy-Con could be used as a mouse, like the same way you use like a computer mouse. And yeah, this optical sensor, this very heavily leans into the fact that, yeah, you will probably be able to use this as a computer mouse. Because, like, I know other, like, the Lenovo Go has a I don't know if it has an optical sensor, but I know it has, like, a computer mouse component in it. Like, you can use it like a mouse. So, like, this is something that's been speculated for a while now. And one of the things that I think this is almost guaranteed to happen, because this is a very Nintendo gimmick. You know, a lot of people's worry with the Switch 2. Well, you know, I feel like people have been giving the Switch 2 a lot of shit because it is a very safe sequel of a system. You know, usually Nintendo plays fast and loose with its sequel systems. You know, if we don't count things like the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo 3DS, the Super Nintendo, the Wii U. I wouldn't count the GameCube. I know I've seen some people say the GameCube. I wouldn't count the GameCube as like a safe sequel. No, the GameCube's kind of weird. The N64 was definitely weird. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. But definitely all those other things I just named. Nintendo's played it safe in the past, but Nintendo always likes to do a weird gimmick, right? Nintendo's, with the exception, like, of all those things I just named, right? Getting color on the Game Boy Color was I mean, okay, technically that one's not a weird gimmick either. And the Super Nintendo doesn't have a weird gimmick. I'll give you that one. But, like, the Wii has waggle controls. The Wii U gamepad has a gamepad. The Switch is, you know, your console portable hybrid. Going from the DS to the 3DS, it has 3D. That's a weird feature. So I think people's disappointment with the Switch 2 has been that it doesn't have a weird feature. But adding a computer mouse to your controller, so that way you can use the controller like a mouse, that's kind of a weird feature. I mean, it still plays it mostly safe, mind you. I mean, it's no weirder than, like, the Switch, the original Switch, having an IR sensor. Like, that's no stranger than that. But it is definitely a little different. And, of course, I've seen a lot of speculation of, like, oh, what games can you use this for? The obvious one is Splatoon, right? Instead of you'll have the option of using stick controls, gyro controls, and then in theory, you'll be able to use mouse controls. Right, so you'll be able to aim with a mouse as if you were playing Splatoon on PC. That sounds very interesting, you know? I get why people would be excited for that. Personally, I really like motion controls on Splatoon. I honestly think it's the perfect balance between, like, you know, being able to move a mouse and having stick controls. And I kind of wish more consoles and developers leaned into motion controls. At least for shooters. I understand, you know, there's that famous thing about how, you know, waggling a controller makes a game less immersive. I don't need everything to be hyper fucking immersive. You know, being able to quickly move my controller around, that's very nice. You know, I know you can turn your sensitivity up and all that. There's a difference. Of course, other than Splatoon 2, or Splatoon 3, Splatoon 4, the other one people bring up is Mario Paint. Mario Paint, as far as I know, has never been re-released. And it's the type of game where it's like, okay, Nintendo re-releases it, you play it for like 10, 15 minutes, and then you move on to the next thing. And like, yeah, I get that, I understand that, but at the same time, it'd be really cool to have an archive of Mario Paint, right? Even if it's just for, like, posterity's sake. It's one of those things where it'd be like, you know what? It'd be neat to at least have that. Because we don't, right? Mario Paint has never been on, like, as far as I know, it's never been on, like, the 3DS Virtual Console, the Wii Virtual Console. Anything like that. Like, they've never re-released Mario Paint. So getting Mario Paint again would be really cool. I think it's a good idea. And then, of course, the other one people are talking about is Mario Maker 3. Because, you know, in the original Mario Maker, you could use the gamepad. And, you know, you could make your courses by, you know, using the touchscreen. And it was one of the few games that used the touchscreen really well. Like, it was genuinely a good use of the touchscreen. That, you know, you can't really get in other games. And Mario Maker 2 doesn't have a touchscreen, and as a result, I'm not going to say it, like, suffers, but it's not as fun to design courses in Mario Maker 2, right? It takes more effort. You have to go through. I mean, it could be worse. It could have like an Echoes of Wisdom style like sorting menu. Like at least their wheel menu at least had something going for it, which was not like, at least that was a okay idea. But it's not perfect. But the idea of being able to do Mario Maker 3 with a mouse, where you could just click and drag whatever you needed, would be very nice. This also opens up, if you have a mouse on Switch 2, well, yes, that doesn't give you a keyboard, you know, that doesn't solve all your problems. It does definitely open up some games that, you know, are easier to control with a mouse. You know, like, I could totally see, like, Civ 7, when that comes out, benefiting from having a mouse on Switch 2. Like, I could totally see that being, like, a game that they use to, like, show off the feature. Because that'd be really cool. Of course, how much do I expect Nintendo to actually lean into it? I don't know. It depends on how well it works. I mean, you know, optical sensors in normal mouses work perfectly fine. It's what people have been using since the trackball. So, I think it'll work fine. I don't really see any major problems with it. So yeah, I'm not really... So I think that's an interesting feature. It's got some potential. It just matters on how Nintendo does it. So that was our Monday leak. Now let's get to Tuesday, the big boy. So on Tuesday, CES was going on. And we had heard beforehand that the company Genki? It's something like that. They make, like, accessories. Like, they make video game accessories for, you know, consoles and whatnot. And they had announced before the show even started that they were going to be at CES, and they were going to have a booth, and they were going to show off accessories for the Nintendo Switch 2. And sure enough, CES comes around. This is this is Tuesday the 7th? I think it was Tuesday the 7th. Let me double check that. Yeah, Tuesday the 7th comes around, and sure enough, Genki is there, and they're showing off. They have models of the Switch, right? They've got all their accessories. They've got models of the Joy-Cons. Now, this isn't like an official, like, this isn't like an actual console that Nintendo gave them. This is more likely like a 3D printed console based on the real thing. So this isn't like an official system. But yeah, that happened. So yeah, we got videos of them, like, locking the Joy-Cons into place to kind of see how the magnetic Joy-Cons work. We got videos of the Joy-Cons that, you know, look exactly like how we expected them to. We see them, like, locking into, like, a charging dock. So we got a bunch of stuff from Genki, right? They showed off so many different things. We got some videos, we got some product images. Around the same time all of this was going on, we also got some stuff on Amazon Japan about, like, more carrying cases. I know some screen protectors were leaked at some point. Right, we got a bunch of stuff. So the leaks continued on Tuesday. Of course, right, talking with the people at Genki, they claim that the Switch 2's release date is going to be in April, that they're currently planning to get their products out in April, which is right around the corner. Which, I mean, again, so far, the rumors are before July. So April, you know, matches up with that. Sure, it's not as early as, you know, a lot of other people are saying in March. But I've been very hesitant on the March release date since the beginning. I've always kind of spoken out against it, and that has not changed. Even though, you know, some people doubled down this week. Yeah, no, this April is much more likely, in my opinion. So we got that. Supposedly, the CEO of Genki, or someone there, said that if you want a Switch 2 console, they're out there. That versions of the Switch 2 are already on the black market, and that, you know, the console is already in certain people's hands. Which, that doesn't surprise me at all, sadly. You know, stuff like this always happens. So the console already being in people's hands, it being on the black market. I mean, we know the same thing happened with the Switch, but to be fair, when it happened with the Switch, we had already known about the Switch for like 3 or 4 months at that point. I want to say it might have even happened after their big like January Direct, when the Switch started appearing in people's hands. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Now we'll get to Nintendo's response here in a minute, but the last thing on Tuesday was Laura K. Dale got a new image of the Switch dock, because you know they're a prominent Nintendo leaker, or you know they get info from Nintendo leakers, and so they've got a bunch of unsubstantiated information, but the one thing they were willing to share is they have an image of the back of the Switch 2 dock that confirms that it uses a 60-watt charger. So what does that mean? Basically, that means that your current charger that you are using on your Switch will not work on your Switch 2. That the Switch 2 and the original Switch use different chargers, which I know that seems like a very logical thing, but we're in an interesting place in technology where, like, if you buy a laptop with a USB-C charger, basically any USB-C charger will work on any laptop. Chargers are kind of regulated nowadays, so that way anything can work on anything else, as long as, you know, it's the same, like, number of connecting pins. Like, my laptop recently kicked the bucket, and I bought a new one, you know, and I was all excited to get a new laptop, you know, something that, because my laptop had been getting pretty slow. You know, just for casual use, you know, like a $200-300 laptop. My previous one it was a Chromebook that used USB-C. My new one doesn't use USB-C, and I fucking hate it. It was one of those things where I just forgot to check, because, you know, I just figured it's 2024. It was 2024 when I bought it. I was like, it's 2024. Every laptop must use USB-C. Nope. This one does not use USB-C. And that fucking sucks. What the hell am I gonna do with this thing? Man, because it's so nice to just, oh, you know, I've got this USB-C charger, I've got an old one. All of them work the same. Yeah. So the reason why this is kind of, the Switch, if you did not know, right, like that laptop charger, that, you know, in theory, you could use it to charge your laptop, your phone, any other device that uses USB-C, because they all have regulators that kind of regulate their power output. The Switch, like, charging cable does not have that. You cannot use the Switch power brick on, like, a laptop. It could potentially break the laptop. Now, I don't know if the same is true vice versa. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to. I've seen people use a laptop charger to charge a Switch. Like, you would use on, like, a Chromebook or a, I don't know if MacBooks have used USB-C either. I don't know if they've made that change. But, right, like, I've seen people do it. I just don't think you're supposed to. I also don't think you're supposed to do it on your phone either. But, you know, people do. I've done it once with my phone. I was in a place where it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's been a long day. My phone's dead. My phone charger's back at the hotel. Fuck it, I'll just use this laptop charger that I'm using to charge my laptop. And yeah, it worked fine. But, you know, I try not to. So, yeah, this change, you know, is this one gonna have regulated power like most laptop chargers do? I don't know. We'll see. Again, it's kind of weird. I know the Switch was kind of ahead of the curve when it came to USB-C, especially for Nintendo of all people. Like, you know, but we'll see. But yeah, no, a new charger, that does not surprise me at all. Obviously, the Switch 2 isn't going to be able to use, like, a Switch 1 dock, which that would be more convenient, but I totally understand why that's not going to work. At least it'll still probably be able to use the same HDMI cord, so at least I won't, in theory, have to buy a new one of those. I mean, it'll come with one, but, you know, that's one less thing to worry about. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday... So on Wednesday starts off... So this is January 8th. This is the day everybody thought the Switch 2 was going to finally be revealed. And it starts off with Nintendo of Japan changing their banner on Twitter to be Mario and Luigi pointing at just a blank space, right? It's Mario and Luigi pointing on a white background. And, you know, people are speculating, like, hey, are they, right, is this the banner today? And then when they reveal the Switch 2, they're going to update it to be them pointing at the Switch 2. Like, that would honestly make a lot of sense. That sounds like a very logical thing for Nintendo to do, you know? And so far, nothing has come from this. You know, a lot of people got very excited for a few seconds there. Supposedly, right before the Switch was revealed, they did something kind of similar. So, you know, a lot of people were getting very hyped. And yeah, so far, it's amounted to nothing. That doesn't mean it's going to stay nothing. But for the moment, you know, 2 days later, nothing has happened. But yeah, no, people were so excited for that. So yeah, after that, we got the Switch 2, some SKUs started appearing in GameStop system. Now, a lot of these SKUs were for, like, Joy-Con chargers, you know, micro SD cards. It wasn't the actual system itself. Now, that would, I think the next day, a French retailer would start posting some Switch SKUs, right? They would also post a bunch of stuff. We would start getting some SKUs. I think by now, everything has been taken offline. But yeah, on Wednesday and Thursday, some retailers started posting some SKUs for Switch 2 and Switch 2 related products. Could this have been them just jumping the gun? Most likely. This is most likely them just, you know, jumping the gun, getting ahead of things, you know, thinking that maybe it was going to happen and it just didn't happen. So yeah, you know, nothing, Wednesday was the day. Everyone thought, oh, it's Wednesday, you know, it's January 8th. We were hoping that we were either going to see you know, we were going to get the trailer, or we were going to get the announcement of the announcement, with the actual announcement happening on Thursday. Because that's the one thing I do not remember. I know this, because for the Switch, the original Switch, they posted a picture of Mario behind, like, a curtain. And it was like, see you tomorrow for a special reveal. But I don't remember. Was that posted on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday? What day was the Switch revealed? I want to say it was October 19th. But what day was October 19th, 2016? I have no fucking idea. That was like 9 years ago now. Coming up on 9 years. So, I have no fucking idea. So, it might have been October 16th. I just know it was in October. So, we're just going to have to, you know, wait and see. But there was all this hope that, you know, on the 7th we were going to see something. Nothing happened. On the 8th we were going to see something. Nothing happened. So, that's why I'm saying I'm kind of done trying to predict the Nintendo Switch 2's release date. Reveal date, I should say. Right, nothing, you know, who knows when it's gonna happen. It'll happen when it happens. Every date I have predicted so far has been wrong, so I'm not even gonna try anymore. It happens when it happens. I just hope the Switch 2 is revealed before the boat sinks. Before we know every little thing. Like, I've seen people make jokes about how the Switch 2 will release, then it will be revealed by Nintendo. And yeah, that's kind of the worry. That, you know, Nintendo will just show, you know, we will know everything. And then Nintendo will finally be like, well, you know, we always plan to show it off February 4th. So who cares if everything leaks, right? We're not going to try to, you know, get ahead of anything, our ninjas took the holidays off. Now, I say that, but now we come to Thursday. And on Thursday, so we had, right, Genki had their booth at CES, where they were showing off all this stuff. And this might have happened Wednesday, this might have happened Thursday. I have it in my notes here on Thursday, but admittedly it might have happened on Wednesday. Their booth at CES was completely gone by the next day. Right, their booth had been completely taken down. Their videos showing off the Switch 2 that they themselves had posted, also taken offline. So, you know, maybe they got a very unfriendly call from Nintendo. Maybe something happened behind the scenes. You know, cease and desist letters were given. Something happened. And yeah, Genki went completely silent. They completely shut everything down. You know, they're not gonna say nothing about nothing. And yeah, I'm not surprised by that. All right, again, we'll get to Nintendo's statement came today, so we'll get to it. But yeah, we're still on Thursday. So, you know, Thursday was kind of the last bastion of hope, right? Like, if we're going to see anything, we're going to see something on Thursday. But another thing that I haven't mentioned up to this point is that, so while some prominent leakers were like, it's going to happen on the 8th, it's going to happen on the 9th, it's going to happen on the 7th, some other leakers were like, no, we're not getting any Switch 2 stuff this week. Instead, we're just going to get a new trailer for Xenoblade Chronicles X. And sure enough, Thursday comes around, and we get a new trailer for Xenoblade Chronicles X. Which, honestly, that really isn't surprising. Like, you know, the game comes out in like 2 months. Of course Nintendo's gonna promote it. I'm pretty sure we also got a new Donkey Kong trailer earlier in the week that I didn't watch. And I know we got some other stuff as well. So no, a new Xenoblade trailer isn't surprising. The new Xenoblade trailer seems to show off a new area. You know, it ends the trailer showing off this new area. I'm assuming this is gonna be like Future Connected was in Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered or Remake or whatever it was called. Where, you know, because in the original Xenoblade there was the shoulder that was kind of cut content, and then Future Connected kind of restored that. I don't know about any cut content in Xenoblade Chronicles X, but I'm assuming this is going to be something. Is this going to be the ending to the cliffhanger that people want? Admittedly, I have no idea. I could not tell you. You know, you'd have to take someone who knows a lot more about the game than I do, because I legitimately have not touched Xenoblade Chronicles X since the year it released, which was, what, 2015, 2016? It's been a long time. But no, this was a story trailer, and it didn't, like, you know, there's a part of me that was like, oh, how much are they gonna give away for a game that, again, released almost a decade ago now? And no, I feel like all the big reveals they keep hidden. If you know nothing about Xenoblade Chronicles X, you know, you can go in, watch the trailer, and get exactly what, you know, the basic premise down. Xenoblade, I will say for people who have not played Xenoblade Chronicles X, because I do recommend it. It very much is, if you've never played a Xenoblade Chronicles game before, it's a good starting point. It's different. It's different, but I definitely think it is a good starting point. It's pretty fucking basic, you know, humans get caught up in an alien war, they flee the planet, and now they've crash landed on a brand new one. And you're kind of rebuilding civilization. You know, a bunch of the crew has been lost. Like, there's a life pod with a bunch of people in it, and you're trying to find out where the life pod crashed, because it crashed separate from the rest of the ship. So I think that it's a very simple, unlike the original Xenoblade Chronicles, which, you know, the original Xenoblade Chronicles starts simple and then gets more complicated as you get into it. No, X is a lot more simple. But, you know, it has its good twists and turns. I'll say that. I do enjoy X. And yeah, one thing people have noticed from the X trailer is that they've completely changed the UI. The UI in the Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U was very small. You know, it was very minimal, and there were entire mechanics in that game that they just don't explain. We've already seen from this trailer that they fixed the UI, it's a lot bigger, it's a lot more streamlined, it's a lot better. But that mechanic that they don't explain, I cannot think of the mechanic's name off the top of my head. I know it has to do with, like, colors. They explain that. We see the explanation tutorial in the trailer. So we know they've definitely made some improvements. Have they fixed everything? We'll see. But they've made some improvements. We see the map screen. The map is zoomed out, which is nice. This is looking like a good port. I'm curious how well it's going to run. But I think we'll be fine. Because Monolith, if anything, they know how to push a console to its limits. They push the Wii U to its limits. And I think they're going to do this. They've already done the same thing for the Switch. But I think X is going to do it again. So the other thing we got on Thursday was Game Boy Lego. Yep, you know, everyone wanted to see the new portable console from Nintendo. And guess what? They're bringing the Game Boy to Lego. Now, Nintendo has already brought one of their consoles to Lego. I actually have that set. It's sitting on my shelf over there. It's the Lego NES. It's a little NES. It's got a controller. It's got a copy of Mario Bros. And it's got a cute little TV that has Mario Bros on it. It's actually a really neat set. I think they retired it either last year or 2 years ago. I don't know. I bought the set like a year before I built it. It was sitting in my closet for like a year. Maybe even longer than that before I sat down to actually build it. But I have built it. It's a very cool set. So I am excited for the Game Boy. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that this is bad timing, that this is Nintendo rubbing it in our faces, that they haven't revealed the Switch 2. I don't entirely think that. And the reason why I don't think that is because on the same day as this Game Boy Lego reveal, they also revealed Lego Bluey. So I think this is just bad timing. That this wasn't Nintendo being like malicious, you know, knowing that, oh, people want the Switch 2, let's just give them something else. Kind of like Alarmo. This wasn't anything malicious. No, I think Lego has their reveal set up. They pick certain dates to reveal things. And on January 9th, they were going to reveal Lego Game Boy and Lego Bluey. And that just kind of happened to line up with all these other Switch 2 rumors. I think it is completely disconnected. Is this me giving Nintendo the benefit of the doubt? Yes. Yes, it is. But guess what? I'm actually really excited for this Lego Game Boy. I think it's going to be cool. I like the Lego NES. I have two hopes for the Lego Game Boy. The first one, the more realistic one, is I hope it has, like, changeable cartridges. So you've got, like, the Game Boy, you've got the cartridge window, but you can, like, plug different cartridges into the system, and those different cartridges come with different screens. So you've got, like, a Tetris screen. You have a Super Mario Land screen. You have a Link's Awakening screen, right? It comes with different cartridges for the different games, so that way you can, like, vary up the screens. I think that would be a really neat little detail. I could also see them just doing Tetris. I feel like Tetris is the easy, cheap one. I know Lego Tetris is a thing that people want. Like, I want to say it's on Lego Ideas. Lego Tetris totally... It might have already been a thing. I don't entirely remember. But Lego Tetris sounds like a thing I've heard about before. So I guess we'll just have to see. But I feel like Tetris would be the most likely one. Then probably, again, Super Mario Land. Then I would say Link's Awakening. I feel like those are the three most likely. Just because those are kind of the big three Game Boy games. Even if Super Mario Land isn't actually that good. Trust me, I know, I played it this week. But my other idea for the Lego Game Boy. What if the Lego Game Boy is a Game Boy? Remember how Nintendo made, like, the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, which were like these little mini consoles. And remember how they made the Game & Watch Super Mario Brothers and Game & Watch Legend of Zelda? What if this Lego Game Boy comes with like a little digital device that you basically build the Game Boy shell around? And then once you've built the Game Boy shell, you can use this little device and basically make the Lego Game Boy into an actual Game Boy. And it comes, you know, kind of like the NES Classic, it comes preloaded with 20 classic Game Boy games. So that way your Game Boy, your Lego Game Boy, can play games like an actual Game Boy. I think this is totally possible. Because Nintendo has messed around with putting, you know, little screens in devices. You know, like I said, the Game & Watch, the Zelda and the Mario one. But even Lego Mario. Lego Mario has a screen in it, right? Its eyes are LEDs, or something like that. They're little displays. I think a little device that's like a Raspberry Pi with a screen and some buttons wouldn't be that expensive. I feel like, you know, people are hoping the set is cheap. Like, you know, the general hope is that the set is like $50, but I could see it being $100 if it is an actual Game Boy. You know, $50 for the Lego, $50 for a working, to make it working, to make it into an actual working Game Boy. Obviously, we wouldn't get Pokemon, but I could see us getting the Super Mario Land games, Metroid 2, Link's Awakening, Tetris. I don't know, is Mario Picross? Other, you know, Game Boy games. I can't really think of that many Game Boy games. Oh, Kirby's Dream Land, there's one. I could realistically see Nintendo thinking like, Lego Game Boy, let's just make it an actual Game Boy. It seems so, it's so simple, but I kind of hope they do it, because that's very much a Nintendo thing. Because I like like, yeah, you can't play Mario on the Lego NES, but you know, they have all these interactive elements that it's just really neat. And I could totally see Nintendo doing something like that. And I could totally see someone take that Lego NES and with the little TV and put a Raspberry Pi in the little NES that, you know, connects to an actual NES controller, because they sell USB NES controllers, and then put an LCD display inside the TV screen and make the Lego NES a working NES. That seems like a project that either could be done or has already been done. I really should look that up to see if somebody's done that. But that's my prediction. If it doesn't have interchangeable games, which again I think is far more likely, I think it's gonna be a working Game Boy. Call me crazy, but it just might happen. Nintendo is just crazy enough to do it. You know, people are saying the Switch is playing it too safe. So a Lego Game Boy that is an actual Game Boy definitely ain't playing it safe. And, you know, this isn't Nintendo making them, so they'd make more than like 20 of them. Because that was the big problem with the SNES and NES Classics, is that they only made like 10 of them. If Lego's the one making these things, they're gonna make more than one. And we also know Lego's gone big on games recently. They recently released that monkey game. That's like, it's a board game, you know, they relaunched Lego board games. But supposedly that new Lego board game, the Monkey Island or whatever it's called, is actually pretty good. Monkey Tower. It's something like Monkey's Tower. It's something like that. Supposedly it's actually pretty fun. I've heard good things about it. You know, for a Lego game. So that's my prediction. I'm gonna look up after this match. Lego NES working. Or working Lego NES or something like that. And we'll move on to Friday, because we do still, guess what? We're only on Thursday still. We do have some Friday stuff. Let's see. First video that shows up actually playing Nintendo games on the Lego NES, made by Geeksmithing. Is this what I think it's gonna be? Give me a second. I'm stuck in fucking ads right now. Yeah, they take a Raspberry Pi, an LCD display. Sure enough, yep, they turned the little. It's exactly what I expected it to be. Admittedly, I don't know if they I don't think they actually implanted it in the console. It looks like they just put it all in the back of the TV. But still, that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. It's a very logical idea. That's exactly what I'd expect it to be. Yeah, I could totally see Nintendo doing that. Yeah, the Lego Game Boy comes out in October. So that's still like 9 months away. But, you know, it's a good idea. Okay, so that takes us to Friday. So we start off Friday with actual news from Nintendo. So CNET reached out to Nintendo and basically asks them, CNET Japan. So it's not American CNET, it's CNET Japan, their tech company. They reach out to Nintendo and ask them about these Genki leaks. And Nintendo basically comes back and says that, hey, the stuff shown off at CES is not official. So what does that mean? Basically, this is just Nintendo saying that, hey, you know, Genki, they didn't have our permission to do these things. You know, they're not using, like, we didn't give them copies of the console to make these things. Right? This is all made by them, you know, allegedly by people who saw the consoles and whatnot. But this is not, like, actual, like, real-life leaks or anything. Right? This is not an official reveal by Nintendo. Again, I would not be surprised if, like, cease and desists happened behind the scenes. If something went, you know, if something happened, that would in no way surprise me. Because, you know, Nintendo's totally the one to play that card. They have many a times in the past. I'm just more surprised they put out an official statement. Normally on, you know, again, for all these other leaks we've talked about, Nintendo hasn't said shit. I think the only reason Nintendo did say something here is because of, you know, the fact that it was at CES. That this is a big event with you know, people who work with Nintendo, right? You got companies like Nvidia and Samsung there that, you know, partner with Nintendo. So of course Nintendo has to say something. At least that's the idea. I say of course Nintendo has to say something. It's Nintendo, they could say nothing and get away with it. So I'm just kind of surprised they put out anything. But again, like we were saying earlier, even though all this stuff is leaking, it does not at all surprise me that Nintendo doesn't plan to change their plans at all. In fact, we have also today on Friday, Imran Khan came out and he claims that according to his sources, people at Nintendo's PR team find all these leaks pretty funny. That, right, basically he says that Nintendo, he double confirms, you know, as much as he can, that Nintendo has not changed their plans on how they're going to reveal the Switch 2. That these leaks have not affected them. And that, yeah, they find this stuff all pretty funny. Because at the end of the day, every week, us sitting down here and talking about these leaks, that's technically just free marketing for Nintendo. You know, as long as we're not just, like, shitting on them and talking about how Nintendo's, like, the worst company ever, that's technically PR. That's, you know, well, not PR, but, you know, that's advertising. That's getting Nintendo's name out there. And they didn't pay a fucking dime for that. And, you know, there's also that, you know, there's no such thing as bad PR. That's definitely not true, by the way. There is totally such a thing as bad PR. So that's not true at all. But yeah, behind the scenes, Nintendo finding all this stuff pretty funny. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to say, like, yeah, it is kind of funny. But it's also really fucking sad. The fact that Nintendo has basically just let all of this stuff leak, that their boat has so many cracks in it. It's, you know, moments away from being, I don't know, the HMS Resolute. Did that boat even sink? One of those boats did. The Resolute, the Terror, the Mary Celeste. One of those boats sank. I know they got stuck in ice, but I know they also did sink. At least one of them did. Yeah, there is an element of, like, yeah, it's funny, but it's also really sad. You know, it's actually the fact that so much of this stuff has leaked is actually kind of, like, embarrassing for Nintendo. Because I'm assuming, like, of course there's the, like, I know iPhone, like, when I think of Apple and iPhones, iPhone stuff leaks all the time, but a lot of that stuff's intentional. You know, when iPhone leaks something, that's usually a controlled leak by Apple. Usually. Not always, but, you know, sometimes. Same thing with, like, phone manufacturers. But Nintendo doesn't do fake leaks. At least as far as we know. Right? If Nintendo does fake leaks, they are better at hiding it than most other companies. I'll say that. But, so yeah, I'm not entirely on, like, Nintendo's side on this thing. I get why they call it funny, but it's also just kind of sad. So then our last two, there's two more things on Friday. Both of them are a lot more speculative. I don't even know if I'd call these, I wouldn't even call these leaks. I'd call these rumors at best. Like, all the Genki stuff, I would definitely more compare to leaks. These are rumors at best. Basically, there's Nate Drake, prominent, you know, figure, whatnot, leaker, whatever. Basically, he suggests that Microsoft will have a bigger role on Switch 2. What the fuck was that? He's basically claiming that Microsoft is going to be putting more of their games on Switch 2. That includes Flight Simulator and the Master Chief Collection, or, you know, some sort of Halo game. Now this, admittedly, I don't know how well Flight Simulator is going to run on Switch. Like that, I mean, if we have a mouse, I don't even know if a mouse is going to fix that. It'll fix some stuff, but I don't know if it's going to fix that much. So I'm a little hesitant on Flight Simulator, but I can totally see the Master Chief Collection. I've actually predicted the Master Chief Collection on Switch before this. I feel like the idea of having Halo on the go is actually a pretty appealing one. Now, of course, Microsoft is also making their own handheld console, as they did talk about at CES. We, of course, don't know anything, because it's still years away at this point. But they did, at least a year away, if not more. They did at least mention it. So, you know, we're a little closer. But yeah, no, that does not... Master Chief Collection, I could totally see. That one I 100% believe. Flight Simulator, you know, I'm a little bit more hesitant on. But it's possible. Because Microsoft has said in the past... Or Nintendo... Actually, this isn't Microsoft. This is Nintendo. Nintendo has said in the past that they want to strengthen their relationship with Microsoft. And, you know, we've gotten a bunch of Nintendo... Or a bunch of Xbox games on Nintendo. You know, we have, well, technically Skyrim. We have The Outer Worlds. We have that one Apothecary potion-making game. Is that the one? I can't remember. There's that one weird Pentiment? I think it's called Pentiment. We have Cuphead. There are a lot of Xbox games that are also on Switch. Ori and the Blind Forest. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Or the Wimble Bimble. Alright, we have a lot of these games on Switch. So, you know, putting the Master Chief Collection on there, that's not that big of a stretch. That's not a big stretch at all, actually. Now, Xbox did also, I think they announced on Thursday, that they do have a developer direct coming soon. And, you know, I think that's in February. And some people are like, oh, is Nintendo's going to have to reveal the Switch 2 before that developer direct, you know, just in case Microsoft shows anything. Microsoft isn't going to show anything at the developer direct. Don't get your panties in a knot. That's not going to happen. There's not a chance in hell anything comes from that. We might get Oblivion, you know. There's a lot of rumors going around right now that we're going to get Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake, which that would be pretty cool. I'd love to see that. But I'm not too excited for that. The other thing that we got was, also in a similar vein, the Red Dead Redemption 2 will supposedly be coming to Switch 2. I could see that. The original Red Dead Redemption is on Switch. I'm still amazed GTA 5 never came to Switch, but Red Dead Redemption 2, yeah, I can see that. You know, that's not a game. That's like fucking Shakespeare. I cannot remember that beat at all. That's not like fucking Shakespeare. It's something like that. That's the Jack Black line. Fucking Jack Black. So Red Dead Redemption, that makes sense. I could totally see that. And then the other one is supposedly Final Fantasy VII Remake / Rebirth will both be coming to Switch 2 into Xbox. There's been rumor, I think it's already actually been confirmed that Final Fantasy VII is coming to Xbox. Or at least maybe it was confirmed it's coming to PC. Actually, that's what it might have been. It might have been confirmed that it's coming to PC, the Rebirth. But no, I would not at all be surprised if it comes to Xbox. I think the Switch 2, according to, you know, what we know so far, I don't know how strong the Switch is going to be able to run Final Fantasy VII, especially Rebirth. But, you know, Nintendo has magic. They can probably make it work. I wouldn't be too worried about that. So yeah, so that's our last big Friday rumor, leak, whatever. They're all rumors at this point. So, of course, what's next? At this point, I say we just wait. You know, it's just a matter of time. Of course, you know, new people are going to come out of the woodworks and be like, oh, this is what's happening next. This is the next date. You know, like the guy who allegedly leaked the Switch console on Christmas, next handheld. For a second, it seemed like he was claiming it was going to be the 16th, but then he, like, quickly backpedaled on that. And I feel like, you know, predicting the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal date is like predicting the end of the world. You know, you'll always have these camping people who come around and claim that, oh, this is why it's going to happen on this date. And so far, they've been wrong every time. Oh, that's some really good art, actually. I really like that. Sidetracked. Right, of course, all it takes is one person to get it right. Oh, the one person who actually, you know, if you just shotgun every day, eventually someone's gonna get it right, between now and March. So someone's gonna get it right eventually. But just because someone gets it right, doesn't mean I trust them. I don't trust anyone anymore. Like, supposedly, the guy who leaked the PS5 Pro has come out and said that they believe the Switch 2 reveal date is going to be the 17th. So that's a week from today, that's Friday. Already I'm hesitant on that date. Nintendo really doesn't do stuff on Friday. They like to do stuff on weekdays, specifically Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They don't really do stuff on Friday. But the Switch 2 is, you know, a special thing. And, you know, maybe they'll make that Friday exception. You never know. But let's just say I'm very hesitant. I don't believe it. I already off the bat saying that if they had said the 16th, that's a little bit more likely, but I don't believe the 17th at all. But they say the reveal date's going to be the 17th. They say the launch day is March 3rd. Also, again, I still don't believe the March dates. I'm still very skeptical of that. So I don't trust that one at all. They claim that launch titles are Mario Kart 9, Red Dead Redemption 2, and that there will be an announcement for a 3D Mario. And then finally, they suggest the retail price in Canada is $400. I mean, that retail price doesn't really surprise me. That kind of lines up with everything. I think the console's going to be somewhere between $400 and $450. We know Nintendo doesn't sell consoles at a loss. I think it's going to be somewhere in there. But yeah, some of that stuff in that rumor might be correct, but I'm not buying it. It's just, I'm not even going to say it's too convenient. It's just like, hey, guess what? When this guy's wrong, somebody else is going to come out of the woodworks, you know, maybe Pyro? Maybe they're going to come crawling out of the gutter and claim, you know, whatever the next Friday is. They'll come out of the gutter and claim it's going to be the 23rd or the 24th. You know, somebody will always come out, and eventually someone will hit the nail on the head. But that's because there are only 90 possible days left. So if someone comes out every week and names every day, eventually someone will get it. Yeah, no, I don't believe this one at all. I don't believe anything anymore. I don't believe anything. I don't trust anybody. And I think that's the way the news goes. So that's our week of Switch 2 leaks. Yeah, it's fucking messy. This ship is totally sinking. And, you know, the only way Nintendo's gonna patch this up is to just show something. But they're gonna work by their own schedule come hell or high water. So I guess we just gotta wait patiently on Nintendo. Oh, fucking whoop-de-doo. So I guess that takes us to WIBE. So what have I been doing? What have I been enjoying? I played a little bit of video game. I've admittedly been watching a lot more video game than I've been playing it, because this week is AGDQ. I'm a big fan of AGDQ, I'm a big supporter of AGDQ. So, of course, I've been watching it. I've donated a little bit. I always buy a little bit of merch. You know, I love they do, basically challenge coins, for lack of a better term. And this year we got a new challenge coin design. What is it for? I think it's like a redeem token for a hype train, or something like that. I was like, oh, that's cute. You know, you get that, you get a shirt. They have the Mario piano shirt is so good. I really do like that shirt. Will I ever actually wear it? Probably not. Oh, they also have a poster that's like a subway poster, like a metro, like an underground subway, not like the restaurant. You know what I mean? That was also pretty cool. That has all the games, all the runners. That's really neat. I don't know if they've ever... I can't remember them doing that before. That's something they should do every year. I think that's a really good idea. If they've never done it. They might have done it in the past and I've just not noticed. But I can't remember them having done that before. So yeah, I've watched that. We'll talk more about it here in a minute. But other than that, I've been playing some old Game Boy games. You know, I kind of was in the mood again, so I busted out my old Game Boy Advance. So I've been playing some... I've actually been playing Mario games. I've been playing some Mario games. And yeah, we'll talk about it. Oh, and then of course we got Abbott Elementary, which I'll talk about as well. So the first thing is Super Mario Advance 2. So, I don't know, I was just kind of in the mood. Maybe it's all this talk about, like, Lego Game Boy and other things, but I was just kind of in the mood to play Mario. I've been watching some YouTube videos on Mario. It might also be a GDQ thing. I don't know. And so, I picked up the Game Boy. I was going to play a bunch of different things, but I ended up picking up Super Mario Advance 2. Now, I know Super Mario Advance 2 isn't perfect, you know, especially compared to, like, the Switch version, because, you know, if you've never played Super Mario Advance 2, it's Super Mario World, but because they were working on the Game Boy, the color is pretty washed out. Like, it does not look great, and yeah, I definitely see it playing on the Game Boy Advance SP. It is washed out. Shoot, we were so close. But I'm still having fun, you know? It's Super Mario. Super Mario World is maybe my favorite 2D Mario. Maybe. Oh, hey, Pookie, how you doing? How's your day going? Yeah, I like Super Mario World. And admittedly, Super Mario Advance 2 was the first time I ever played Super Mario World. I didn't have an NES as a kid. Right, I didn't have a Wii until years later. So playing Super Mario Advance 2 on the Game Boy Advance was the first time I ever played Super Mario Bros. 2. Pretty good. I see snow today. Ever get snow? Yeah, you know, I've been reading all these stories about, you know, snow, you know, out over in, like, Dallas. We've got nothing here. It's completely, you know... I mean, we technically got a little bit... but it was like a light frosting. I'd call it disappointing. I wish we got a little more. All the snow meant for me is that when going to work this morning, I had to scrape ice off my car. That was it. Other than that, yeah, we've gotten nothing over here. I know some people are freaking out, and I mean, I'd rather have snow than what's going down in California. Los Angeles, like, oh, those fires are awful. And that really sucks. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, I haven't played Super Mario World. I haven't played in years. I'm currently in the Forest of Illusion, and I'm just stuck. I'm so stuck. No, I'm not gonna. I just thought of a joke. Forest of Illusion, you know, fires. No, I'm not gonna make that joke. But no, I do hope the best for them. Admittedly, I don't know anybody like who are like directly. Like, I don't have any like family out there. But yeah, I do hope the best. I've heard some great restaurants have burned down, and definitely when charities for those people come around, you better believe I'll be giving some money. I've been enjoying World. It's been a long time since I played Super Mario World. When I say a long time, probably like 2017. You know, it's been a while, but I'm enjoying it. I definitely don't remember everything. Like, I'm currently in the Forest of Illusion, and I know to get out, you need to find the secret exit. But I cannot, for the life of me, remember, because I think there's more than one secret exit. I think there is anyways. And I just cannot find it. I admittedly have not looked that hard. I've only looked at like 1 or 2 levels. But I just know, oh, I'm stuck in here. Because I remember the last time I played Super Mario World on the SNES Classic, I got so stuck. And like, I think I might have eventually had to look it up. And I'm kind of like, I don't want to look it up this time, but I might end up just doing that. But yeah, it's, you know, it's Super Mario World. It's a good time. I'm gonna have to play Super Mario Advance. I can't remember if it's Advance 3 or Advanced 4. That's a remake of Super Mario. I think it's 4. Super Mario Advanced 4, Super Mario Brothers 3. Because I've always stood by that Super Mario World is better than Super Mario Brothers 3, but I haven't played 3 in so long. I'll admit I might be wrong. You know, there's the possibility that 3 is better than World, but I just really like World. So I'm gonna have to give 3 a try, but that's not gonna be anytime soon. I don't know. It might watch me come back next week and be like, yep, I found my solution to Super Mario World, and now I'm playing Super Mario Brothers 3. And why am I playing the advanced version instead of, like, the Nintendo Switch Online version? I have no idea. I just kind of felt like it. And again, I actually own it on Game Boy Advance. Now, the other game I played that I do also own on the original Game Boy, but I played it on Game Boy Advance, Super Mario Land. So, see, way back in the day, all we had were 3-frame LCD displays, right? Our journeys had a lack of all but travel Scrabble packs. Yes, NES was the best, but to put this one next thing in context, it was a milestone years. See, handheld gaming started here. I could probably do the rest of I probably know that entire song. Do I know that entire song? Do I want to sing? Oh god, I'd probably cause an avalanche. Oh god, my musical puns. I'm not going to talk about it, but I've had a Pop Culture Jeopardy on in the background. You know, while I like cook and whatnot, I like to have like some show in the background. And it's been Pop Culture Jeopardy this week. And there was a musical category, and I got every question correct. And, like, some of them were easy. Like, some of them were just like, oh, here's a picture of Hamilton. Which musical is this? But there were some others I got correct, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I actually know that one. Not like Pop Culture Jeopardy has been that hard. Admittedly, there's been a series on TikTok where it's, hey, can my boyfriend name more Pokemon or more celebrities? And I've been playing along when I see those videos. I've gotten every Pokemon. I'm admittedly doing better at him than celebrities. Like, I knew who Sydney Sweeney was. I knew who Lana Del Rey was. I knew who Sabrina Carpenter was. Alright, like, I knew at least some of them. Alright, I knew Chappell Roan. But, some of them I have no idea. Charlie D'Amelio? No idea who that is. Bella Porsche? I think it's Bella Porsche. That sounds right. Okay, where was I? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so 3D Land, it's a Mario, it's the launch title on the Game Boy. So it's the first game released on the Game Boy. It's a Mario game with 12 levels. Not 12 worlds, 4 worlds, 4 levels in each world, 12 levels total. Launch title for the Game Boy. And I'll be honest, Super Mario Land does not hold up that well. It is not that good of a game. I'm sure if they were to remake, like, if Nintendo made, like, hey, here's a new here's Super Mario Wonder 2, and we made, like, a hidden world that's just a one-for-one recreation of Super Mario Land, I'm sure that would play a little better, like, it'd hold up a little better. But playing the original, like, I'm sure somebody's also remade the entire game in Mario Maker, and I'm sure that also plays a little better. But playing the original, it doesn't really hold up. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't have fun. Right? There's some really weird, creative stuff in that game that, you know, I find kind of charming. You know, Brent flying heads. That displays a great imagination. I'm having way too much fun with this dumb joke. So yeah, I played it. Admittedly, I was basically sweeping through the worlds until I got to World 4. And then, like, World 4-1 absolutely just kicked my ass. I died on World 4-1. I game overed. So I had to restart. Well, I had to continue, but then after that, you know, I got back. I got to Tonga, and then the rest of World 4 was easy. It was literally just 4-1 that tripped me up. And then I got to Tatonga, which is 4-4, and Tatonga just kicked my ass. It took me like probably like 8 tries to beat Tatonga, because I didn't. So for shooting in the sky plane, the sky zip or whatever it's called, you can either press A, right, so you press A to fire a bullet, but you can't hold A to fire bullets unless you are also holding B. If you want to do rapid fire, you have to hold both A and B, because just pressing A will not rapid fire. And I only realized that on, like, my, like, 7th attempt. So yeah, I was able to beat it on the 8th attempt. And yeah, it's not entirely a good game. You know, especially playing it on, you know, the old black and green. But, you know, it was fine. Now, the one thing I will recommend from Super Mario Land is its sequel. Super Mario Land 2, Legend of the Six Golden Coins, is genuinely a good game. Like, it's a mainline, they're both mainline Mario games, but whereas Super Mario Land is like the black sheep of Mario, Super Mario Land 2 is like a genuinely good Mario game. I wouldn't say it's as good as like 3 or World, but if you gave me a choice between like the original Mario and Super Mario Land 2, I'd probably pick Super Mario Land 2. I think it has aged pretty gracefully, It's pretty fun. I remember I haven't played it since it released on Nintendo Switch Online, because I didn't actually own... I owned the original Mario Land as a kid. I did not own Mario Land 2. The first time I played Mario Land 2 was back in, 2021, when it released on Nintendo Switch Online. But that game is good. I will defend that game. I will stand by that game. It's really fun. It's pretty creative. You know, you enter a giant robot Mario. You get eaten by a turtle. You go to space. It's very fun. It's very creative. Right? I'm not going to say it's as, innovative as, Link's Awakening is for the Zelda franchise. But it's fun. I like it. I enjoy it. I'd recommend it. I should actually boot up Mario. I should look up if someone's recreated Super Mario Land in Mario Maker 2. I'd be curious to see how that plays. I should do that. Not as a stream. I mean, maybe a stream, but definitely on my own time. I should look up to see if somebody's done that. I kind of... You know what? I kind of hope I would love to see a Zelda Maker more. If we got a new Mario Maker, I wouldn't mind that. I got big into Mario Maker before Mario Maker 2 released, and I loved Mario Maker when it came out. I had a lot of fun with it. You know, I think back to the CF gaming days, and yeah, I made some okay levels. Not all of them were great, but some of them were okay. I had some fun doing it, and I really liked that world feature they added in the DLC. I wish that had been in the game at launch. I feel like the fact that that's a DLC means it never got as popular as it should have. Yeah, that's a fun game. So yeah, those were the 2 video games I played. Other than that, you know, I was busy at work. It was a busy week at work. So I didn't get much other than that. Because I was able to do most of that Mario World stuff in 2 hours. I beat 3D Land in an hour. You know, I did want to play Kirby. I have not played Kirby's Dream Land in years. Probably 20. I'm gonna say 2016. It's been a long time, and I kind of want to play Kirby's Dream Land again, which also is a 30-minute game. You can beat that one really quickly. Because I was kind of thinking about, hey, what are game series where it's yeah... Because I was kind of thinking, what are mainline game series that, you know, where I've played a lot of them, but I have, missing gaps that I haven't played in the past, since 2017. Right? I've played every Luigi's Mansion game since 2017. I've played almost every Zelda game since 2017. The only exceptions are Spirit Tracks, Phantom Hourglass, and Oracle of Ages and Seasons. Other than that, I've at least attempted to play every Zelda game. Meanwhile, Mario, right? I hadn't played Mario Land since 2017. Or since before 2017. I haven't played Super Mario Bros. 3 since before 2017. I also haven't played Sunshine since before 2017. Because when they re-released Sunshine, I did not play it. In the Super Mario 3D collection, I only ever played Mario 64. I didn't play Sunshine or Galaxy. And then my collection got stolen. So I don't have that game anymore. Fuck. So yeah, I don't know. I've just kind of been thinking about... I was thinking about... So I have all these Nintendo games where it's yeah, these are the Mario, the Kirby's, the Zeldas. And then I was what about Sonic games? Oh, the only Sonic game I have played since 2017 was Sonic Mania. Also, maybe Sonic Forces, if that counts. I think that might count. Other than that, I really haven't played any song. I didn't play Colors Remake. I didn't play the Generations Remake. I didn't play Frontiers. I didn't play Sonic Origins. I really have not played a Sonic game since Mania. And Mania was, 2017, 2018. That's been a while. I did really enjoy Mania, though. I do want to play Generations. I do, especially after seeing Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I really do want to play Generations, but I'll get around to it, as I always say. So the next thing, before we get to AGDQ, the one thing I did want to talk about, the other thing I watched this week, besides Celebrity Jeopardy, Pop Culture Jeopardy, which, again, it's okay, it's whatever, you know, they've got Colin Jost, he's more jokey of a host, you know, he's playing up the comedy factor. There was a section that was all about rap, and he was doing the rap, and he was bad at it. Whereas, like, that's the thing about Alex Trebek. He treated every subject with the same seriousness. When he rapped hard. He could carry a verse. Man. Mad respect for Alex Trebek. Miss him. Miss him every day. But so besides for watching that, I sat down and I watched the crossover episode between Abbott Elementary and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So, I guess I should preface this. I am not a big fan of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I have watched the show. I am a fan, just not a big one. I think there are like 19 seasons, and I don't know if I've seen anything past like 12. It's been a while since I've watched that show. I know it's good. I know it's funny. I'm sure there's some good stuff I've missed, but I've also seen a lot of good things. It is definitely the way I've seen it described. I think this was Quentin Reviews who put it like this, is that it's a show about assholes, but they always lose, right? They're assholes who try to come up with harebrained schemes, and their schemes always blow up in their faces. And I think that's a good way to put it. Is right, you want their assholes who lose, and you want them to lose. Like, that's the satisfying part. So yeah, I do like It's Always Sunny. It's just been a long time. Abbott Elementary, on the other hand, I have only watched like 1 or 2 episodes. This is probably like the 3rd episode of Abbott Elementary I've ever seen. It's just not, I just don't really care for it. Right? Like, it's just not my style. I know it's a good show. I've heard great things about it. Based on this one episode, yes, I probably would like it. But, you know, I'm fine with this just being another, you know, Seinfeld or The Office is probably the better comparison. Right? I'm fine with this just being another Office for me, where it's like, yo, it's this really popular show that people love, but, you know, I just have no interest in it. Not that I'd rather watch, you know, The Bear, which is the totally legitimate comedy show that is definitely a comedy that keeps stealing all of Abbott Elementary's awards. Right, like, I should watch The Bear. I want to watch The Bear. I just haven't. You know, I get those stresses in real life. I don't need that in a TV show, for fuck's sake. So the Abbott Elementary It's Always Sunny crossover, the basic premise is, right, that the school needs volunteers. The Always Sunny cast is volunteering, and, you know, they're helping around the school. We get the different scenarios, you know. One of the teachers in, the only name I can remember, is Charlie Day. Charlie Day plays a character called Charlie, right? And then Frank is, Danny DeVito. I don't know. The one guy is barely in it. Like, he doesn't want his face on camera, so he's, like, almost never in the episode. But, the Danny DeVito subplot with, him, right, they're trying to stop the raccoons from eating the garden is really funny. You know, him fighting the janitor, and then the reveal of what's actually going on, I think is a good, fun reveal. Totally what I remember from Danny DeVito. Exactly what you'd want. The plot with the girls, where it's like, at first they're like, oh, they're getting along, you know, they both went to Penn State. And then, of course, the eventual, like, twist that, you know, she's trying to steal her boyfriend is, I think, a good, funny twist. You get some good jokes out of that. The one guy trying to detail the car, right? Who's like, oh, I'm gonna go detail your car. You know, I'll get your tires rotated. Right, just trying to get out of the community service is good. Specifically where it ends, when they eventually get to the blackmail. I was like, yeah, based on everything that happens, that makes sense. And then, is there one other one? I feel like there's one other one, but the last one, the best one, is Charlie Day's character, who again might also be called Charlie. Mac? I know Mac is one of them. I think Mac is one of them. God, it's been forever since I've seen It's Always Sunny. Fuck me. Right, Charlie Day, there's a joke, there's a running joke in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia that he can't read. If you've ever seen the Pepe Sylvia bit, you know, one of the most famous bits from It's Always Sunny. Pepe Sylvia is Pennsylvania. He can't read. So when he sees all the letters addressed to Pennsylvania, he can't read them and assume they're Pepe Sylvia. That's the joke. That's me explaining the joke. So, you know, this being the episode where all the teachers realize he can't read and teach him how to read it's good, it's heartfelt, but it's also really fucking funny. I love the callback to Milk Steak, and I know Bird Law is also a callback, but admittedly I don't remember that one. I remember Milk Steak though. So that was good, that was funny. Them having the graduation at the end, I burst out laughing. That's such a good moment. And I feel like the two jokes the show ends on. Because you get one joke right before the credits, which is fun. You know, it's a good call. You know, it's a good title drop. And then you get the joke at the end of the credits. Oh my god, that is so fucking funny. I'm not going to ruin it, but it's really good as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed the Abbott Elementary It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia crossover. As someone who hasn't seen Abbott Elementary, I hope it did a good job representing the show. Listening to other people talk about this episode, it seems to have done a good job representing both shows. I think it was funny for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I admittedly do not know if there's going to be like another part that is specifically the It's Always Sunny side of events, where we get to see them, you know, crash the Tesla Cybertruck and everything. I'd like to hope that happens, but, you know, we'll see. But I honestly don't know entirely what they'd show, outside of, you know, the one guy's perspective who just isn't on camera. Is it Dennis? God, I don't remember any of these characters' names. Fuck, I'm rusty. I think it was a good episode. It was a fun... You know, if you're a fan of either of these two shows, you're going to enjoy this. If you're not a fan, you know, you might still have some fun with it. I mean, there are worse jumping on points, I would say. And, of course, if you're gonna go back and watch either of these shows, I recommend starting both of them at the beginning. I know the early season of It's Always Sunny can be kind of hard to get through, right? Especially because Frank isn't in the first season, right? That's before they got Danny DeVito. But there's a lot of stuff that they set up in the first season that they call back to later on. So just, you know, get through. The gang gets a little bit racist, you know? They're gonna say the N-word. I love that reaction, like, you know, I like Abbott Elementary, let's go check out It's Always Sunny. The first episode, they say the N-word in, like, the first 15 minutes. That's fucking great. Because the gang gets racist. God, It's Always Sunny is so good. I should probably... You know, it's funny, because between these two, it's like, oh yeah, I should probably start Abbott Elementary. No, I kind of want to go back and catch up on It's Always Sunny. Because it's been a while. It's been so long. God. And the only reason I started watching It's Always Sunny is because of Achievement Hunter. I know Michael and Jeff are huge fans of that show. And when they recommended it, I was like, well, I guess I gotta watch it now. So of course I did. So that's that. So I guess that takes us to our final story, or our final thing. Let's talk about AGDQ. So AGDQ has been running all week. I have not seen everything, honestly. But, you know, I've tried to watch a good few. I've tried, you know, as always, you know, you gotta find the stuff that interests you and hope that the in-between stuff... And you gotta find the stuff that interests you and know that the stuff in between will be equally entertaining. And guess what? It is equally entertaining. Runs that I can think of off the top of my head. They started off the show with Pikmin. Oh my gosh, what a great run to start the show with. Was it sub-hour? It might have been sub-hour. They got all the parts in, the 4 days. It was a good, fun run, a great run to start the show with. I definitely get the feeling that Pikmin is growing more and more popular every year. Right? Like, I know Pikmin almost always has a presence at GDQ, at least for the past, 5 years or so. But especially recently, right? For the fact that it opened up the show, that's kind of a big deal. So Pikmin was a really good run to start with. Later that day, you had Astrobot, which, yeah, their Astrobot run, my Astrobot run was such a fucking failure, man. To actually see how it's done, that was a good, solid Astrobot run. I enjoyed that. Who was the runner on that? King J.O. Yeah, King J.O. was a good runner on Astrobot. They did a great job. Yeah, I really like that. Portal 2. Portal 2 was a lot of fun, It's been a while since I played Portal 2, so that was a fun one to, see again. Kirby Air Ride. They did Kirby Air Ride, City Trial Percent. I had never even heard of Kirby Air Ride speedruns. It was definitely real interesting. It kind of reminds me of, what I've seen of, Melee speedruns, where you're doing, RNG manipulation to get certain things to spawn in certain areas. It's interesting. There was Ori and the Blind Forest. I was excited for this one because it was a randomizer. I think randomizers are some of the most fun you can have in speedrunning. I genuinely love randomizers. Mario 64 randomizers are my favorites. I know this year's GDQ ends with a Super Metroid map randomizer, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, I love a good randomizer. I didn't know Ori had randomizers, but no, it was a good randomizer. Loved them doing the Jinzo escape and everything. That's the one good part about Ori is the Jinzo tree. I really need to replay Ori. I bought both of the games on Switch, and I just never got around to playing them. But I love that Jinzo tree. That's so much fun. And seeing that in the run was pretty good. So yeah, I liked Ori and the Blind Forest. What else was day one? Day one. Oh, Wind Waker. Oh my gosh. So Wind Waker, it's some of the tech, super swims and whatnot, it's yeah, this is familiar. But they did it minimal percentage? Any percent. The only items they got in the game were the starting items, right? The stuff you need to start the game. And, so the sword. And then they went and got the leaf. Other than that, they didn't do it, right? They didn't get any other items. They didn't get the grappling hook. They didn't get bombs. They didn't get, did they get the Wind? They might have gotten the Wind Waker because they had to. But they got almost nothing. They were able to do some cool skips, a lot of which I'd never heard of, some of which I had. I knew about the Ganon's door skip near the end of the game. Of course, I know barrier skip. But right, a lot of the ones they used to get the leaf, I had no idea about. I'd never seen those before. Of course, it was Linkus 7 doing the run. I've been a fan of Linkus 7 for years now because of one of those speedrunners I found out about through GDQ. And yeah, they did a great run. Of course, this was also the run where we started seeing Luigi. So, one of the themes this year's GDQ has been all the characters are named Luigi. Now, when I first saw the Luigi thing, right, when I saw it in this Zelda run, I didn't think anything of it. I'll be honest, I just thought oh, Luigi, Mario's brother, okay. And that was kind of throughout the rest of the day. I was oh, it's, Mario's brother. And then I saw a TikTok about it, being AGDQ has a Luigi problem. And I was what are they talking about? Why is naming the character after Mario's brother a problem? And it was 2 minutes into that TikTok that I realized, like, oh, wait, they're not talking about Luigi Mario. They're talking about Luigi Mangione. I felt like an idiot, man. And I've already admitted this, all right? I admitted this on TikTok. But yeah, it just did not click to me. And that's been, like, almost every run has been like that. Like, I don't know if, like, Skyrim, I know Skyrim was at some point. I'm pretty sure the character was named Luigi. There were plenty of other ones where the characters, Luigi has been the #1 name in almost everything. And, like, I can't believe I just didn't get it at first. But yeah, no, that's been a thing. Let's see. Let me continue on. What else? What else did I watch? I missed the Peglin run. I missed Rabbits Go Home. But I did catch Breath of the Wild. There was a bonus run. It was Breath of the Wild, 2 players, 1 controller. And it wasn't even like they took like a set of Joy-Cons and gave each player half a Joy-Con. No, they were using a Pro controller. And yeah, it was like a 30-something minute run, 2 players, 1 controller. Very good, fun idea because, you know, that's the thing about some of these games. Because, you know, there are certain games that get run almost every GDQ. And Breath of the Wild is kind of like Super Metroid and Mario 64. Those are games you're going to see every year, almost. So making 2 players, 1 controller, that makes things so much more interesting. You know, it was player 5 and Mikey's gone. Oh shit, is this a 100x battle? Is this my first ever 100x battle? Wait, what? Okay. I'm gonna take this seriously for a second. I don't think I've ever gotten a 100x battle before. We have to win. Yeah, I don't know. You can trust me. I've done a lot of footage on stream. You can check, but I'm like 90% sure I've never gotten a 100x battle on stream. I know I've never gotten a 333 battle. That's 100% sure. But I'm pretty sure I've never gotten a 100x. Gosh dang it, I ran out of ink. Okay, I'm taking this so seriously right now. I'm leaning, you know, I'm locking in. It's like that one gamer meme. I know you're over here. I saw them and it was just like I was too late to respond. I'm so locked in right now. Gosh. It was just a waste of ink. Take my sodas. Trade. Okay, we're basically tied at this point. I'm just too short. Okay, someone's got to hit up. We're not doing good. I don't think we have that. We were tied up most of that. Oh no. We pushed that out at the end. Oh hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh my god, would you look at that? My first ever 100x battle. I've never done that before. I've never even gotten the opportunity to do that before. Holy crap. And this is one of the final Splatfests, because, like, as far as we know, it's this one, and there's going to be an Easter Fest, and that's it. Oh, baby, I will take that. And it still only gives me, like, the same amount of points. But hey, that's a lot of conch shells at the end. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, where was I? Yeah, Breath of the Wild run was good. I did see the Metroid Prime race. The Metroid Prime... Oh, yeah, I did see the Metroid Prime race. That was good. It was so close. For most of the race, they were neck and neck. And then I think by the end, it was just like one mess up, one boss. They felt like one boss behind. And that was kind of it. But other than that, it was a really good, really entertaining race. Horizon Forbidden West was a good run. B-Dub 5 was the runner there. And the only reason I was like, yeah, I gotta catch this one, was because they were one of the commentators during the Astrobot run. And I was like, yeah, I'll check out Horizon. And yeah, it was a good run. I really enjoyed that. I missed that one. I didn't see that one. Hey, here's just normal 10x. Did I see Super Mario Bros? I don't think I did. The next one I know I saw Mario 64. They did a TaskBot Mario 64 A button challenge. So the idea, it was TaskBot running minimal A presses. So they weren't doing every level, right? It wasn't like a beat the game with 0 A presses TaskBot. It was more like showcases in different levels. And there were some fun showcases in there. I think the first thing that is Jolly Roger Bay, where they didn't have enough height to get to the star. So they just basically slid themselves against a wall for like 5 minutes just to gain enough momentum so that way they could run around the course and hit the star. That was really cool. Some of those, what you have to do to get some of these like half A presses, 0 A presses, was all really neat. The final Bowser's Castle, right? The first level they did Hazy Maze Cave, where they're doing enemy manipulation to get these bats, get some of this stuff off, like out of bounds, and then just using it just to get like a little bit of hype to get a star. It was all really good. Yeah, the TaskBot Mario 64 run was, it's a good a good TaskBot showcase can be a lot of fun. And yeah, this one was no exception. Again, Mario 64 is one of those games that gets run every year. So I think doing a TaskBot showcase was a good idea. Just make things a little bit more interesting. Oh, I heard that Batman Forever arcade run. I didn't get to watch it, but I heard good things about that. I heard it was a real, like, entertaining game that I had never heard of before. And, right, the person I heard talking about it was like, they had never heard of it, but yeah. Supposedly that was a really good run. So, that's one of those ones you gotta catch in the VODs. But, yeah, supposedly it was really good. Oh, Fallout, of course, Fallout. There's another one. I actually don't remember if that one ended up with Luigi as a name. I think it did, but I kind of don't remember. But they did that. There was the All Romances was their optional goal. So that was a lot of fun. Okay. So every year at GDQ, there's always that one, you know, special run where it's like, you know, we're gonna do something weird that, you know, it might, like, it'll work, but it's just kind of out there and it doesn't seem like it should work. Last year's run that was like this was the dog Peanut Butter playing Ken Griffey's Baseball, and they literally used, like, the Rob controllers to have a dog play baseball. And it was really cool. It was like, oh my god, this run is so much fun. You know, this dog Peanut Butter is really cool. This year's version of that run was Wes played New Super Mario Bros. Wii while playing the piano. So they were doing all the music themselves. They were playing the piano, doing all the music, and they were controlling the game at the same time. They had a Joy-Con attached to their head, and based on how they moved their head, Mario moved. And then they had another Joy-Con attached to the bottom of their foot. And when they did actions with that, like when they step, kind of like a drum pedal, when they did stuff with that, it also did other actions. And they were playing the entire game. You know, they did a speed run, so it took like 40 something minutes. They played through the entire game. You know, they took the cannons, of course, to World 5 and World 8. And yeah, it was, of course, there were some, you know, they died a few times, but it's no big deal. You know, as a show, to show off, yeah, it was a really impressive run. They did get a standing ovation at the end, rightfully deserved. That was so impressive. It was such a good run. And then afterwards, doing 1-1 blindfolded while using those weird controls while playing the piano was also really impressive. And all around, if there's one run from this GDQ where I'm like, you have to go watch that run, it'd be this one. This New Super Mario Bros. Wii run is the one, like, you have to watch that. Because that's such a good run. And then after, so that was earlier in the day. And then Mario 64 was after that. And then the next thing I saw was yesterday, they did Tears of the Kingdom. They did Tears of the Kingdom. It was, I think the runner was Cloud. And it was all dungeons. So it wasn't just beat the game, it was all dungeons. And yeah, no, that was a good run. Some of those because I guess they're now routing it in 1.0 compared to, you know, some of the other versions of the game. So there were some of those tricks where it's like, yeah, you know, of course they're going to use Pocket Rocket and item duplication and stuff like that. But, like, I had never seen Magic Carpet before. The first time I saw that trick, I was kind of blown away. I was like, oh my god, that's so funny. I'm amazed they don't get, not Ultra, the build one. Auto build? I think it's called auto build. I'm amazed they don't get auto build for that run. But yeah, all the dungeons were really neat. You know, it was a really fun run. They get a lot of they basically chain Master Swords together. They chain like 8 Master Swords together, and what they call like it's like microwave Master Sword, or, you know, the microwave or something like that. It's a neat idea, and it is very effective in the speedrun. But listening to it, I'll be honest, the buzzing of 8 Master Swords really started to get on my nerves. Like, there's just that audio stimulation. Just hearing the audio, like the constant background microwave radiation. Really, like, I was kind of like, oh no, why? Oh my god. I kind of wish the game volume was just a little lower. Every time you'd get like a cutscene and it would stop, I'd be like, oh, thank goodness. That was kind of the one thing that's, especially because it was like almost a 3-hour run. I think it was like 2:47 was the ending time. That's my one problem with that run, is like that, and I understand that's out of their control, but oh boy, eventually I got like 2 hours in, I kind of started to drown it out, but for that first like hour they had it, I was just like, oh no, this kind of sucks. This microwave radiation is awful. But other than that, I think it was a neat run. And so yeah. So that was I think I don't know if I saw anything today. There's a lot of stuff I didn't catch, sadly. I've been busy today. Oh, I missed Superman 64. I did want to see that one. What's currently running? Oh, currently it's Super Mario World. They did a 94 exit or a 96 exit race. Okay. Oh, and they're doing Peggle Extreme in like an hour. Ooh, that might be fun. Yeah, that might be fun. But the run. So there's only one more day left of GDQ, and the last few runs are. Oh, there's okay. So Elden Ring was not go. Elden Ring's tomorrow. Okay, I was like, I know Elden Ring was at some point. Okay, Elden Ring's tomorrow. So the last 3 runs are Ocarina of Time, which is a no logic randomizer. So, you know, that makes things more complicated. That's going to be a good run. They have a bonus game of Echoes of Wisdom. I had no idea Echoes of Wisdom was on the schedule until today. I had no idea. I was looking through the schedule, and yeah, I had no idea. I'm pretty sure that's an incentive run. I hope we reach that incentive. I would love to see Echoes of Wisdom run. I might give some more money just to make sure we see that one, because I've never seen an Echoes of Wisdom speedrun before. So that'd be a cool one to see. And then, of course, you can't have a GDQ. You gotta end off with Super Metroid. It's a randomizer race. You know, classic randomizer race. I think that should be a great way to end things off. Also, I don't know if I've said it recently. Between the 2 teams, I am team kill the animals. Save the frames, kill the animals 100%. 100% kill the animals. I have a challenge coin somewheres. Again, I know I talk about it. When it comes to merch, you know, t-shirts, well, fine, are kind of boring. Give me interesting stuff. GDQ doing challenge coins, oh, that's fun. That's interesting. So on top of, you know, any other donations, I always got for the past like 3 years, I've bought a challenge coin. I actually flip it all. Specifically, there's one that's a good RNG, bad RNG. That whenever I try to be like, hey, will this thing happen next week? Right? Will the Switch 2 be revealed next week? I always flip it, and I'm pretty sure the coin's weighted bad because I have flipped bad luck. Or have I flipped bad luck? I don't know. I've always it feels like it comes out on a different side, like on the same side every time. I can't remember if that's bad luck or good luck. It's been a while since I flipped it, because I don't see it with the rest of my D&D dice at the moment. I probably fell, but because yeah, I keep it with my D&D dice. It's the good RNG, bad RNG coin is my D2, if I ever need a D2. Fun fact. Because, yeah, I think... I can't remember it's weighted. At least my hypothesis is that it's weighted. I don't know. It's one of those things that I really should just test. I really should just get a spreadsheet, flip it 100 times, and just see if it's as weighted as I think it is. Because it feels very weighted to me. I know when I say weighted, I mean like it's going to flip one side the same more often than not. I don't know where I'm going. But yeah, no, definitely tune in for the last day of GDQ. Those last 3 runs are gonna be great. You know, give some money where you can. It goes to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Yeah, it's always a good time. Some great runs. It's so much fun, and it benefits a good cause. You know, what's not to love? And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all we've got. Yeah, you know, a 2-hour stream's not bad. No Marble League this week. Actually, I think they announced that the Marble All-Stars are coming. And yeah, you know, that'll be right around the corner. But, you know, for this week, there was no Switch 2, so yeah. Alright, let me see if I can... Let's flip a coin real quick. Let's flip my supposedly weighted coin. Here it is. So, it's good RNG, bad RNG. And the question we're asking is, will the Switch 2 come out by this time next week? Will we know what the Switch 2 is? That's our question. That's what we're flipping on. If it lands good RNG, that's a yes. If it lands bad RNG, that's a no. If that wasn't obvious. I can't actually show it if that wasn't obvious. Oh, wait. Oh shit, we're gonna do that here in a minute. I've never done that before. All right, ready? Will the Switch 2 be revealed by next week? It fell off. Let me try again. Oh, good RNG. I don't believe it. Good RNG. Bad RNG. Good RNG. Bad RNG. Good RNG. Good RNG. That was bad RNG. That was good. That was bad. Okay, that actually was... I think that was 6-4 right there. That was actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Alright, we got 15 conch shells to use. Let's just fucking score through them all. You know... Let's just get through all those suckers. Is this gonna be, Yep. I want to say at one point we looked ahead to see how many, like, things we have to open to get something good. And I want to say it was, like, 70 before we get, like, our next silver or bronze. It was a lot. Yeah, because, yeah, we did the math on this one time. Here's some drink tickets. There's some stuff where I'm like, I'm surprised I still have stuff to unlock. I feel like we've gotten so much that I'm still kind of surprised every once in a while when it's like, yep, here's a new thing. Alright, we got one more. Yeah, I'll be honest, it was kind of underwhelming. I mean, 2, you know, group XP ups, that's good. But other than that, nah, there was nothing really good there. Alright, let's go check out this box and go get our picture. Which we have never done before. It's kind of crazy to think about that we've never done it before. But yeah, I legitimately don't think we've ever done it before. I don't even think I've ever played a 100x battle. Meanwhile, I know people who have like, yo, yeah, I get them all the time. It's board afloat. Sure, let's do it in front of the plex box. Oh, look at that! How do we... Yeah, look at that. I've never done that before. It's really cool that we get to do that. I guess we should... Can we check out some of the other scenes? Down the back alley. Oh, I guess I was like, oh, are we gonna get to see, like, I wonder if we come back for the group shot, will all three of them be in there? But I was like, it makes sense that it's just Shiver, because that's for her team. Okay, never mind. For a second I was like, oh, are we gonna get to see the other two? Are we gonna get the big man and what's her name? Frey? Can't believe I couldn't think of her name for a second. No, that, of course, we're on Shiver's team. Man, that kind of sucks. I wanted a picture with Frey. She's cool. Here's my picture with the biggest man. Again, maybe I'll come back for the, for the triple and see if they'll let me take another one. They might. Or you might have to win a triple 100x. I don't know, at some point I feel like 100x battles did become more common. But, or at least 10x battles did, especially when they added those conch shell battles. But yeah, that was Splatoon. You know, honestly, we had an okay run. You know, getting all the way to 105 out of, you know, the 999, getting to champion rank for a single night. That's not bad for 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, we definitely lost some, but we totally did win some in there. And yeah, winning that 100x battle was great. So what's coming up in the future? Again, Nintendo Switch 2. It's gonna happen sometime within the next, like, 80 days. We're guaranteed that. My hope is still sooner rather than later, but luck does not appear to be on our side. So we've got that. Other than that, other stuff we have coming. We're gonna do Mario Odyssey. Yeah, we were. Did we get to we finished Metro, I think? I think we finished Metro last time. So we're gonna, you know, do everything else. I was like, we either finished Metro or we finished Lost. I don't remember. So we're gonna finish whatever we didn't finish last time. We're 100% gonna do that. But other than that, you know, we'll see. And then Donkey Kong Country Returns HD comes out next week. We might do that next week. Because I'm not going to play through the whole game. But I at least want to do, like, you know, like an hour or two of it on stream. So we're either going to play that next week, or we'll do it the week after. I might finish Mario Odyssey and then do Donkey Kong. I don't know. I'll think about it. Because I do want to play the new Donkey Kong, and I do want to replay Tropical Freeze. We might do both. You know, who knows? Who knows? But at the moment, I got nothing planned. So we'll get to it when we get to it. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end off for the night. Let me take one last flip of our coin. Ooh, bad RNG. That's bad. Okay, but do we kill the animals? Come on. I was like, their coins are filled by the same. Come on, kill the animals. Ooh, kill the animals. Okay, so RNG may not be on our side. Killing the animals. Save the frames. Save the frames. Hopefully next week isn't as much Nintendo Switch 2 leak news. Again, I know other stuff happened, but that was, you know, this, for the moment, this is kind of, you know, a Nintendo Switch 2 leak podcast. Which I don't entirely want it to be, because I don't want to be one of those, like, speculator guys who's like, oh, this is the week, you know, we're going to talk about every little thing, this is the week, let me get up your false expectations. No, I try to be a realist here. I don't want to be one of those guys. Not that I hate those guys. Like, you could, in some ways, you know, the late, great Etika was kind of a guy like that. But he was good at it, you know, he sold it. He was fun. He was entertaining, and we miss him. We miss him every day. But yeah, I don't want to be one of those guys. I think it's fun. I think it's fun talking about some of the speculation, I wish Nintendo would just do the damn thing, you know, push the damn button. I mean, I've been waiting since October. It's just back in October, the ship was a lot less leaky than it was right now. Nowadays, you know, we're fucking... you know, nowadays we look like Andrew Patton. Andrew Patton boarded us? There's a joke about Andrew Patton in Sea of Thieves in there somewheres. Is that game on Switch, Sea of Thieves? If that game was on Switch, I'd give it a go. It's one of those things where I was always kind of interested in it. It always seemed kind of fun, but I never actually played it, so... I don't know, I'd give that a go if it came to Switch. But okay, I'm stalling at this point. I'm going to end off here. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Till next time. Peace.